But how can you draw that board without knowing the font? So you have to draw that board, knowing the font, then clear those faults. So I think for now, it's back to drawing board for Power Dynamos, but they don't have force. Only players know the force, but not the coach. So it's bad news for Power Dynamos, but they have to take it because the decision made by the coach, I think, from the aspect and the angle that I have seen, is final. So Munyachi Pepo is gone already. It's just official to the Power Dynamos that Munyachi Pepo has been left.
Many people has left. Lamek, let's look at now the future of the club. Who do you think Power Dynamos should appoint as a coach? Someone who's going to carry on the mantle. These are the defending champions, and everyone is looking at them, and everyone wants to beat the defending champions, and also they want to defend the title. Who do you think Power Dynamos should appoint?
If I'm Power Dynamos right now, I think finding a new coach is something that will bring a lot of headaches because Power Dynamos has a certain type, I think, brand of football that it plays. So there are certain coaches that are in the market right now. I wouldn't want to mention names, but there are certain the so-called big coaches. I think we have 2-3 names that are already popping out to say they are favorites to land the Power Dynamos job. But we need to, as a club, if you want to continue on the path that Power Dynamos is on, they need to, I think, critically look at the candidates available and then make a decision. I wouldn't pick a name of who would take over because there are a lot of names that
Yeah,
are available.
unfortunately, we just have to mention names because now the next team that we need to look at is Forest Rangers. Also, we hear there's someone who's supposed to go there. There's Prison Leopards also looking for a coach. Three teams, and also we've reached the three games for the Green Eagles coach. So what's the matrix now? What is going on here? Because this is where it becomes interesting.
We have, I think, of prominence. I think Agre Chiangi is one name that has been in the news for quite.
Sorry, Lamek, we can't hear you. It seems your mic has been muted.
So I was saying that Agre Chiang is one name that is popping out on a number of clubs that want a coach. So it is a name that a lot of people are kind of looking at. But again, you need to understand the other side is that Agre Chiangi, I think there has been contact from the ZNSHQ in regards to the Green Eagles job. So he may be lined up to take over at Green Eagles. I think they appreciate the work that he did. He turned them into, I think, a club that we now know as Green Eagles because before Agre Chiangi, Green Eagles were a relegation threatened team. They would be relegated at some point, I think, fight their way in the ZSL, and they lacked consistency in the league. But when Chiangi went there, he managed to turn them into, title contenders at some point. He qualified them for CAF, not once, not twice, but quite a good number. So for Power Dynamos, I think for Chiangi to Power Dynamos, I know a lot of people of the idea, but do I agree that Power should go for Chiangi? Well, I feel his brand of football and Power Dynamos are two different types of games that they play. So it would be difficult for Power Dynamos to transition into the, I think, the type of style that Chiangi uses. And again, if you look at Mwenyachi people at Power Dynamos, Mwenyachi people at Power Dynamos wasn't, in terms of quality of play, I think Power Dynamos did not play with a lot of quality under Chipepo. I have so much respect for Mwenyachi people, but they drew 13 matches last season. Yes, they won the league, but they drew 13 matches. So that talks about the quality. I think Power under under Mutapa. I think Perry Mutapa. I think over the last 7 8 years, they played the best football under Perry Mutapa. And as much as he didn't win anything with power, but they played according to their identity. Mwenyachi Pepo was more direct. I think he was more focused on getting the goals, on having a solid defense. But in terms of quality in the play, they always struggled when they faced a decent opponent. Look at how they were beaten by Red Arrows 5-1. They struggled against Simba. Against Zesco, yes, the matches were tight, but every time they came against a team that was, I think, that had a dominant midfield power, always struggled. So if they are finding a coach, I think they need to also focus on that to say what type of football do we play, what is our identity, and then what is the philosophy of the coach that we want, because it would prevent a situation where that happened maybe at Prison Leopards, where you appoint a coach, less than 2 weeks the coach also leaves, for reasons maybe, you know, maybe there are things that you didn't do or you didn't check before appointing the coach. So it's a tough time. People like Beston Chambeshi, who's already appointed at a named club on the Copper Belt, but it's there's a lot on the market, but let's wait and see.
Right. What of the prospects for Prison Leopards? They're also struggling, and they're facing a strong team. Is it tomorrow or Sunday? We'll look at the fixtures, but they also need a coach.
Yeah, I think Prison Leopards are another club that need a coach. They were linked with the Mutondo coach at some point. I think Chabi Chavala was also linked with Prison Leopards. Again, Prison Leopards was also linked with the Agre Chiangi, but they had settled for Chris Kaunda. So now Chris Kaunda left. They have a correction officer in Mwenyachi Pepo. Can they get Mwenyachi Pepo at the job? Mind you, Mwenyachi Pepo was Prison Leopards coach. He left prison to Indeni. So now, can they bring him back, or do they look at other options? There are a number of coaches out there. I think clubs such as Forest Rangers, who decided against appointing Coach Beston Chambeshi, because 1, 2, 3 people around the club felt that maybe they should go for a younger coach, leading to, because the Beston deal to Forest was almost a done deal, but internal issues here and there, ended up messing at that move. But prospects for teams like Prison Leopards, I think they need to get a coach. Will they get Mwenyachi Pepo? Well, that's a story for another day. But I think Prison Leopards will get their man. I think this coming week. I think
I
they
think
learned
the
their
next.
lesson. They'll get their man this coming week.
I feel next week is going to have a lot of headlines in terms of coaches being lined
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
Uh, let's look at the Green Eagles situation. We were told the coach was given 3 matches. He has won one, lost one, drawn one. Interesting fixtures.
Yeah, Namazawa, a very good friend of mine actually. It's unfortunate that the results haven't gone his way. He's lost 4 out of the 8 matches he's played. Out of the 9 matches actually, he's only won 2 matches. So it's tough for Namazawa.
But when you look at the kind of game that they're playing, you would see there's something that is coming up there. I watched the military derby at Edwin Imbuela. Though they lost that game against Green Eagles, but they were a dominant side and playing some good football. All right, Mr. Abia, you've heard what is happening. You've heard Lamek's submission, but I want to take you to a different point here. Want to shift to Nkana. Nkana, for the first time we've heard them, their fans singing and rejoicing because for the first time this season they managed to beat Prison Leopards. I don't know how was your feeling last week, Abia?
Ruben, it was a relief. It was a relief. The team has been losing, drawing, losing and drawing, and to have a win against the Prison Leopard, the team that also played a good football, but we managed to beat them. I think I spoke about this last week that Nkana we're gonna win this one. Failure to win will end up a draw. But fortunately, we collected a maximum 3 points, a win, of course. So I think it's a relief for us soccer fans. What we are expecting from Nkana is to continue the pace they are right now, to improve even much better, because we have a lot of difficult games that are coming on front of us, which we need to clear. We are still in the lead zone, and for us to walk out from that lead zone, it's going to be a huge mountain to climb. But with that win, if we can also win tomorrow Sunday, then it will have to give the team a morale for the next game. So I think a win, it is a good news for the fans and also for the club. But I think the players, they know they need to pull up their socks, because it was one new lead, and you know when you are leading one goal by goal to nil, it's easy for the opponent to equalize. So I think we need to improve in defense, midfield, striking much better, but we need to improve also, because Ruben, we have played so many games, but I haven't seen a lot of shot on target for Nkana. I don't know why. A team like Nkana failing to register more shot on target. You know, when you are registering more shot on target, it means it gives you a chances that you're gonna score anytime soon.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree with you.
but
Yeah, Joseph, we're talking about the the first victory for Nkana this season. At least we're able to hear the Nkana fans singing the favorite song, Favor Mia. Ready. Uh, uh, Joseph, I want you to just analyze for us how the game for Prison Leopards and Nkana was, and how did you find Nkana's victory? Do you think now from here they're going to pick up maximum points going forward?
Well, for me, I think that game was a very big confidence booster for Nkana, having gone 8 games without any victory. I think that game was long overdue. Looking at how Gunners have struggled this season to get maximum points. For me, I think that game was like a confidence booster to them. And going forward, we expect them to build on that momentum. And come this Sunday, we expect them to collect another maximum points. So congratulations to the Nkana faithful, and we look forward to such sort of performances going forward.
Lamek, a slender win by Nkana, though what counts at the end of the day is 3 points. All right, we seem to have a challenge in terms of connectivity there with Lamek, but we continue with the show. Mr. Abia, you are a Nkana fan. Going forward, what do you feel Nkana should improve now? Because they're still in the red zone, they're still in the relegation zone.
yeah, the team need to be serious in defense, midfield. We need to be serious, because when we go to the second round, it will be a do or die game. So we need to push ourselves right now by winning games. In the At the weekend, we have is it Kidwe Derby, Khan and the Power Dynamos, a
Next
strong
weekend.
one.
Next weekend.
Yeah, next weekend. Yeah, so we need to prepare hard. So as a soccer fan, I would need the Ghana Red Devils to show their character as Red Devils, because we don't want the 10 games remain for the league to come to an end. We are still fighting for relegation. I think that will not be healthy for our team. But going forward, starting from at the weekend, uh, maybe starting from the game of power game, we need to show that we are a big team in the Premier League. You know, improvement is much better because we are coming from a win, but we shouldn't relax just because we beat Prison Leopard. Then we see ourselves at we have come back. No, we are still not we are not back yet. We have just started, so we need to improve much better for us to get more points, and then get out from the red zone. Then fight for top four. That's a team. That's a spirit we need to see in the team.
Joseph, do you feel Ian Bakara now has got the grip over the team? 3 points might build this confidence and also build some confidence in the team going forward. Joseph, can you hear us?
Absolutely, absolutely. This again, Mr. Mungo, Mr. Ruben. Yeah, this team
Yeah.
from Ghana and going forward.
All right. We'll get back to Joseph in some minute. But now let's look at this next fixture for Ghana. That they're playing also a strong team in Nkwazi, the sponsored side, a club that is being sponsored by the police, the Zambia police. How do you see this game, Mr. Abia? Because Ghana needs to continue winning, and we saw Nkwazi standing on number 8 in the table, and also want to maintain and also maybe qualify for Continental. How do you see this game coming out?
It's a huge game, but I think Nkana will be equal to the tax. Even though there's a rumor that Nkwazi are seeking permission for exchange of home ground, they want to use DK Stadium. I think that is news that is not confirmed yet, but this is a good team, Ruben. And as in Ghana, we need to prepare so much hard that we can contain them, so that we can see a win, even a draw if it comes difficult, because it will not be easy game. This is Nkwazi, the policemen. So we need to show them that Red Devils are Red Devils. As in Kalampa, we are clapping like an eagle. You see that? So I think we need to see that those characters when I remember in 2012 or 2010. Ati barera bankana bawina, barera bankana. So we need to bring those sorrows back to the team by winning Nkwazi. But it's not easy game, but I expect a win for Nkana.
All right. Sorry, Joseph, we had lost you there. You were just making a submission. All right, seems Joseph is not yet back. But when we look at other games, tomorrow actually the league will start with a big game. Zanaco playing Zesco United, well-funded teams. Both teams seeking to win, and these are teams that we, in the past few seasons, would say this match is a match. It's a deciding match. Mr. Abia, it's a big game at Nkoloma Stadium. It's Zanaco versus Zesco.
Yes, indeed. The bankers and the power utility outfit.
Yeah.
But Ruben, when you want to buy Zesco, you have to deposit money in the bank. Or withdraw money in the bank.
And the bank needs to be powered also, Mr. Abia. The bank needs to be powered with electricity.
Yeah, tomorrow's game, the grass will suffer because Wedson Nyirenda's team is not a team to underrate. I don't. From out of 9 games, I think they have no loss as in Zanaco. Do they have a loss? I don't remember, and I don't think so. So for tomorrow's game, I think it will be a difficult one. Yeah,
They
for
have
the score.
they lost to Napsa. That's the only game that have lost this season.
and
They
and
lost
it was
to
away
Napsa.
at Napsa.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so it's not an easy game. It's a big one. We need to watch this one on Super Sport. But when the big elephant are fighting, they always guys suffer. So that's what is going to happen tomorrow's game. But I expect the Narco side to win. Further to that, a draw because Zesco also is not a team to underrate. They score much goals. I think this is the only team that have scored the much goals in a game this season so far. I've seen them in the other game scoring 2 goals, allowing 3 goals also, which means they have a weaker defense sometimes. Because if the defense allows 2 or more goals, you expect something from defense to improve. So I think for tomorrow's game, anyway, it can go either side to Zesco or Zanaco, but I think the Packers will carry the day.
uh, Two big coaches. You said of Weto Nyirenda Wada Wada, but on the other side, there's also chicken, big chicken Luanda Mina. Uh, how do you see these coaches coming up with tactics? Because uh, everyone wants to win this game. Zanako is coming from a draw. Zeto coming from a loss against Kawi Warriors.
Yeah, George Chicken Wondamina have been in the Zambian Super League for some time compared to Wedson Nyirenda. But also, Wedson Nyirenda has vast experience in terms of football, though is now applying a new philosophy at Zanaco on game tactics and uh, the formula that he's using. I think is a good one because has also bring a lot of competition in the Zambia Super League. But all in all, Ruben, it's only the players that will be on the pitch, not coaches. Coaches will be at their side bench watching their players playing. But she also, when you go to players for Zesco, for Zanaco, they have all have good players. They have also have good strikers, good defenders, good goalkeepers. And Zanaco has played CAF games before, and Zesco United have also have played CAF games before. They have also won the Zambia Super League. In this clash, they have. We know what it takes, Luben. They know what it takes, but all in all, we are expecting a lot of big game tomorrow. It will be a biggest show, Ruben. It will be a game of the week, Zanaco and
Uh,
Zesco United.
there's also a big game after that game. Was it to be a double header there at Ngoloma? There is also Red Arrows versus coachless Power Dynamos.
The team that has no coach. Ruben, if I remember very well, uh, when the season was coming to an end last season,
Yeah, the last game.
Red
Yes.
Arrows, yeah, Red Arrows managed to wash out the champions by 5 goals. Ruben,
Uh,
this is a team that can surprise you, Red Arrows, sometimes. So
Abia, that's how you
they
that's how you
shouldn't.
hand over that's how you hand over the trophy, because that time it was Red Arrows who were the defending champions, and they were hosting the champions elect. So the way you hand over the trophy is make sure you give them five.
When you are handing over a trophy, you have to beat that team for you to show yourself that you are a champion. But
Yeah.
losing 5, then you are getting a trophy. Where will be your smile coming from? You
And
are
to make it more,
celebrating while beating up with a slap, 5 slaps. I think
yeah,
for me it doesn't make sense. But
but
tomorrow's
Mr.
game,
Abia,
it will be a
tomorrow to
different
make it
one.
more
Yes.
interesting is that this time around, Red Arrows are the log leaders, and Power Dynamos are the champions. Okay, so Now the tables have turned. It's now Power Dynamos who need to inflict pain on the more like champions to be, because Red Arrows this season they look more serious. They're winning games and they need to revenge.
It's not easy to revenge Ruben because when you
Yeah.
see Red Arrows, the way they are playing a very good football, you know. And when it comes to beating Power Dynamos, they know where uh, to grab Power Dynamos. They know the players that bring more influence to the Power Dynamos, especially that right now they don't have a coach. The system for Power Dynamos will be it can be easily destroyed, but we can't rule them out. They are defending champions. They have to show that they are defending champions, and they remember 5 goals that they were stamped out last season. So it's gonna be a difficult one, but I'm very much sure that at Nkoloma Stadium, Red Arrows, if the game uh, can go, maybe they can find difficult to win the Power Dynamos to be a draw, but a win is a must for Red Arrows. I think they will win this one. Failure to win, it will be a draw for Power Dynamos.
Interesting. We'll see how the game will come out. Let's look at another game that will be taking place in Kabwe. Green Eagles, sorry, not Green Eagles, but Kabwe Warriors will be hosting Green Buffaloes. Kabwe Warriors, surprising team this season. Numba Mamba is doing some magic there. Last week, beating the likes of Zesco United with George Lwandamina. How do you see this game coming out, Mr. Abia? It's Kabwe Warriors hosting Green Eagles, the Soldiers.
Yeah, go boys and
You,
conquer GBFC.
yeah, you like the Nyanta boys, I know.
Yes, and the Wadianganga and the Wadiankugu. You know,
Yes.
One thing I like about Kawe Warriors is their coach Numba Numamba. When he was Zanako coach, he brought in Zanako in Eastern Province at DK Stadium to come and train. When he was a Zesco United coach, he also used to bring Zesco United. I saw Jackson Jesse Were at DK Stadium. It's because of Numba Mamba. He loves Eastern Province so much. And right now he's at Chikawe. I also expect him to bring Kawe Warriors here in Eastern Province so that he can give encouragement to the teams in Eastern Province, especially Sparta United. But coming to the game, tomorrow's game, it's going to be a difficult one because I have noticed right now that when GBFC are playing away, the only results that they come as best results is a draw. I don't know what's happening to the Go Boys and Conquer. I love them so much. I give them support wherever they go. But this time around, they find this stubborn team, Cow Warriors, with a superior coach, Numba Mumamba. I think they will suffer by a goal to nil tomorrow. They will go down to Cow Warriors. GBFC will come out nothing from Cow.
Interesting how you're putting it. Like it will be just a walkover match. Meanwhile, things happen in Kabwe. Anyway, let's look at the fixture. We've already talked about the Ghana game, and another fixture that is interesting. Kansashi Dynamos with the likes of Jesse Were, Spencer Sautu, still struggling to score. They'll be facing Green Eagles again, the team that even if they're playing good football, they lose and sometimes they draw.
Yeah, for Green Eagles, I think yes. This is one team that have no coach, isn't it?
No, Eagles they have the coach, but he was given an ultimatum of 3 games. There's no decision so far.
All right, but all in all, Ruben, Green Eagles is a good team. I think they can show a good fighting spirit for tomorrow for the game. For this game, I think for me it's not easy to predict. Any results can go either way.
All right, let's leave it there, Mr. Abia. I think this is why we need to end our show tonight. Thank you so much to our viewers for following us. Make sure to join us next week again, the 10th of November, We'll be looking at all the breaking news and also the results that would have taken place this weekend as Zambian Super League enters week 10. For now, it's goodbye from us. See you next week, next time. Bye bye.